Sky Team, this is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe. Today we'll be going over Sky Team and how it plays with 2 players. Now Sky Team is a cooperative game where one player will take the role of the pilot and the other as the co-pilot as you navigate through the altitudes, trying to make sure your plane has a clear landing for the runway, and hopefully by the end, once your altitude hits 0, you're all level, you've put your brakes down, you've put your landing gear down, you've adjusted your wings, and you're all level and you're ready to land. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So in Sky Team, you're essentially just trying to land at an airport. You start a certain distance away with a lot of planes in the path, and you start at 6,000 feet. And as you descend the round marker, if you will, you have about 6, maybe 7 rounds if you count this last 0 round, to make it through the gauntlet of making sure you have to radio into planes and making sure they're out of the way, all while making sure your speed and advancing the speed track and getting closer and closer to the airport. So what's interesting about this game is after you kind of discuss what you want to do, you can't talk. And you can't talk during when, I'm about to show you. You're going to roll the dice and put them behind your screen. And you're going to take turns placing dice on this board. So the pilot and the co-pilot will roll their dice, put it behind the screen. And now comes the meat of the game. There are dice placements you have to put on the board. One of the ones is going to be the plane balance. So if one person puts a dice on and the other person puts a dice of a larger number, well, the plane will start to lean to that side. And if it leans too much, you start to go into a spin and the plane is downed. So you definitely want that. You definitely don't want that. But as you place these dice, you can only place them one at a time. Then the other person has to place. So it's a very, I hope this person has that kind of die number that we're looking for. And, it's really tense. So you have to put your number on one of the balancing dice. You also have to put your number on one of the engine dice. So this kind of determines how fast the plane is going to go. So you're going to add the 2 numbers up in the end on this one. And it depends. It's either going to go 0, a little bit less than this blue marker over here. It's going to go 1 in between the blue and the orange. Or if the number is very high, usually around the 12, 11 range, you're going to be moving 2. And when we say moving 2, it's going to be just shifting this window down a couple times. So you have to be putting your 2 or your 4 dice in there. But then the other dice are kind of the what other actions do we need to do? Do we need to get rid of planes? If I put this 4 in the radio section, I'm radioing to, the air traffic control tower, and 4 spaces away, I can remove one of these planes out of the way. And you can't advance if there's a plane in the way. And if you do, you collide with it, and also the game is over. And the other actions are, making sure your landing gear is down at the right time. But once your landing gear starts to come down, it's easier to go a little bit slower. And same thing with the wing flaps. The co-pilot needs to get the wing flaps down, so that's going to advance this, and it's going to be a lot harder to go in that 2-speed range. There's also the brakes. The pilot needs to manage kind of the brakes and bring those down. And so when you're on your last turn, when you're at the airport and at 0 altitude, that you have enough braking power and are going slowly enough to land that plane. The last action is getting one of these concentration tokens, and those let somebody use one of these little coffee cups to alter a die by 1 or 2. So anybody can place down here. So as you go through these and as you kind of mark off your checklist of to-do, hopefully by the end of the game, you are, the airport is in the window, the airplane is at 0 altitude, all 3 of the pilots' landing gears down, all 4 of the wing flaps for the co-pilots down. You've had enough brakes to kind of make sure you're going slow enough make sure you're moving at probably a speed of 0 and that you're perfectly level. I know that seems like a lot, but it's really an interesting game to try to make sure that all of those conditions are met at the end. So see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So let's talk about the rules and references. The rules were great in this game. They weren't hard to learn at all. It's nice and easy. You roll 4 dice, each person does, put it behind your screen. You have to do 2 of the actions, and the other 2 die actions are kind of your choice on how you want to help land the plane. So rules and references, very straightforward. And once you get past like the base landing, there's a lot of different places to land, which I also think is pretty neat. The components themselves, I really like for this game. I think it comes with exactly what it needs. The board you did have to kind of put together with some double-sided sticky tape that it took me about 10 minutes or so to figure it out. But overall, components in this game, really great. Let's talk about setup and table size. This is what I do like about this game. This game can be played on a very small table size. You probably should sit side by side with the shields kind of angling in a little bit, but it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. And I really like that about this game. And also the setup. Setup is very easy. You pick where you're going to land, put your other altitude track in there, chunk your planes on where they go on the track. Maybe read a rule if you're doing a more difficult airport, and you're off to the races. So maybe 4 minutes total to kind of get this set up and ready to play. So let's talk about the gameplay. And this is one of the most interesting games I've played in a while for 2 players. It is just placed for 2 players. But to me, this feels like Spades. If you're looking for that Spades kind of 2-player experience where you need to be on the same page as your partner or whoever you're playing with. And you just have to kind of trust them that, if the plane's leaning to their side, well, you need to play a heavier number, a higher number to kind of get the plane back level, to move it on the glass. And, sure, you may be giving up a 5, but hoping that they have a number a little bit less, that they know, oh, I'm thinking, here's what we need to do. Because the only time you get to talk in this game is before any dice are rolled every round. And you can't say exactly what you're going to play, so just generalities. And that's what's really neat about this game is just, you don't know what you're going to roll, but you do have some levity over some gravity, you can put some concentration tokens on there, give the other person some options to adjust their dice, give yourself some options to adjust your dice, because 2 of the actions, the engine and like I said, the leveling, you do have to put down. The other 2 are kind of free. Do you put down the landing gear early and kind of slow the plane down? Because the landing gear kind of controls the bottom, bounds of it, and then the wing flaps control the upper bounds. So there's this level in the middle that if you want to move one every time, it's just a really neat Spades-like experience because you really have to be on the same page as the other person. And I think that's really neat. There's a lot of thought that goes into this game. If you don't move one of the, closer to the airport, you can maybe move the double the next round, but you have to make sure some of these planes are out of the way. The co-pilot has 2 radios that they can do every turn where the pilot only has 1. But the pilot needs to keep control of the brakes where the co-pilot has 4 wing flap numbers to put on there. So it's a super interesting and well done Spades-like kind of experience that you're going to get with this game. So, the scenarios do ramp up. I do like that about there's like little modules that get added in each one of these with real life kind of airport examples. Some of them are really short approaches. Some of them you're really going to have to, approach from a long way away and make sure that you're moving at least 2 a few times. So gameplay in this game is very, very unique, and I really do enjoy it. So is this game good for 2? Well, it only plays with 2, but this is such a unique experience. I love this game. Does it need to be in every collection? Probably not. But if you're looking for that 30-minute game that you can just pick up and start playing and not have to memorize the rules, because once you've played this game twice, the rules they're just going to come naturally to you. Actually, once you play once, the rules are just going to be straightforward. So if before dinner, if before, you have to go to this thing and, in 40 minutes, you can play this game in 30 minutes and just land at the airport and have a really good time. This fits kind of an odd category that I usually don't like to play. I usually don't like these 30-minute kind of games because I want more meatier games, I want games that last a little bit, that they can really build. But this game is so unique, and we've had such a good time every time we play this. Like I said, does it need to go in the Hardcore Gamers collection? Maybe not. But is this a game that we're gonna keep and have and play when we need to fit that really quick, let's get it to the table, let's play and have a really good time, unique experience, like I said, kind of spades like, where you just need to be on the same page as the other person. This really does. I really don't have anything bad to say about this game. I only have good things. But like I said, if you want some super meaty game, this game's probably not for you. But if you want a great overall game, a good game where you both have to use your brain, trust that each other are on the same page, 2-player, strictly experience, this is a fantastic game. Like I said, maybe not for the hardcore gamers, but for somebody who just wants this, like I said, 30 minutes. Box says 20. Let's just say it's 30 minutes. None of our games have made it to 20 because we've really been thinking about a lot of our decisions. But such a great 2-player game. So this is one of those pure 2-player games that's just, it blew me out of the water when we played it. So I know I kind of rambled a little bit at the end, but just wanted to say how unique this game really is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and until next time.